So more and more people are interested about the walk-in topic, and hey, I think it's the right time to talk about it. So what is a walk-in, huh? A walk-in is a person whose original soul has departed and been replaced with probably more intelligent and advanced soul. And this happens since you have a body, you have a soul, and you can live your day-to-day life and live as long as you want, or you're like, I hate this world and I so want to die. But then you think about all the people you have in your life, and you're kind of feeling guilty. You don't want them to feel bad if you're gonna take away your life. And you want to commit suicide, but at the same time you can't because all of these things that you're attached to, all of these responsibilities, and you being such a good person, you care about everyone and you don't want them to feel pain. So that's when people look up to the topic of walk-in. Walk-in is basically you're gonna go out of body and meet another being out there who wants to be on Earth, but he cannot get in because of certain reasons. And as you have a conversation with them, you're like, hey, I'll give you my body, you take over it, and I'm out of this hell place. And you have an agreement, and that walk-in, as a soul, comes into your body, has all of your memories, has all of the intelligence you've had, but as a soul it's more like advanced, probably, let's hope for that reason. And as you leave and you're free of this place and you go wherever you want, the walk-in takes over and lives the life instead of you. Now, the walk-in will have all your information that you've gathered as a body, because the body will have the brain and everything else connected, so all of your memories that you've had, all of the experiences, all of the conversations you've had with people, the walk-in as a soul will have all of your memories. This is the same thing as me. When I get out of body and I go into my other bodies in other realms, I take the body and all of the memories, everything else that was in there will be here. And I will remember all the experiences, all 20 years, all 50 years, as long as I lived as that body in that place. If my consciousness takes over and I am now the major thing, I will have all of the experiences. Same as the walk-in. You will have all of the experiences, but it will not have the same thoughts as you did. It will have a different kind of thinking. The walk-in, depending on the personality type, depending on their intentions of being here on Earth, and all kinds of things, will basically like, hey, the walk-in knows you have a family, the walk-in knows about the people you love, about all of the things you want in life, but at the same time, the walk-in might be like, hey, I'll be the person who blah blah blah, and whatever they have, whatever goal they have, whatever they want to do, it probably will be different than yours. And so if the walk-in wants to become something important in this world, wants to make videos on YouTube, wants to get big and spread the different kind of information, write books or something, and your thing was like, I want to be a businessman, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be a gamer, anything, you too might be completely different. Your personality will shift. So the walk-in might appear like, hey, the person completely changed, like, are you okay? What happened to you? And these people will have all these questions for your body. As in, we relate to bodies. We see a person, we think like, hey, this is my favorite person, like he's that, and we know it's a person because of the way we look. If we would have a clone just like us, how would you tell the difference? If it had exactly the same actions, everything's the same, how would you tell the difference? And like we always look at the personality. If the actions are the same, that we talking the same way, the voice and like the looks will be the same. But the personality is the only thing that will be different. This is the ego and all this stuff. So as the walk-in takes over, it can live your life, but it will have different intentions. It will have different meaning on being here. And the walk-in might be like, okay, I don't really care about family, but the person had a family, so I'm gonna do this what I promised. And the walk-in will take care of your family. The walk-in will have conversations. Will give some time to the people you love or care about. But at the same time, the walk-in might have a completely different goal than you did, and it's gonna be like completely his whole life, his or her life will be completely on their goal or whatever they want to do while they're here. And their true goals, their true intentions, I don't know. Everyone's different out there. And when we get out of body, for people who really want to commit a suicide, this is a great way to go. And there are people like, hey, you can't do that because if you make a sin here, if you make all of these faults, you have to get better, you have to learn, you cannot leave, blah, blah, blah. But I don't necessarily agree to that. And, hey, this is just my beliefs. I might be completely wrong about this subject, but this is what I believe in, and you don't have to follow everything, but, hear me out. So, as we do things in life, we fail. Accidents happen, we do things that we don't like, and there are tons of things that you might not like about your life. And you get so bored with what you've experienced, you get so done with everything that you want out. And the only way out is to commit a suicide, because you don't see, like, you just don't see yourself living for 90 years in this shithole, You're just like, you can't handle it. So a lot of people will choose, like, hey, I want to get out of body and have another soul take over my body and be completely free. So having this goal, I don't see how we should be limited and trapped here. If you, like, have any kind of issues in life, and now, like, sure, criminals, they might commit a crime, they might rape someone, and they're completely done with their life and they want out. And now, like, okay, person committed lots of bad things, and the person, like, did all kinds of crimes, and maybe, like, did a forest fire or something, and did the damage to this humanity, to this world, something, and now they don't want to be here anymore, and they go out. Why would we limit any kind of beings, good or bad, duality thing, like we always have to check on, like, we are the good people because we love someone, and people who commit the crime are the bad people, so they should stay. No, everyone is equal. You and I, we're equal. God and everyone else, we are all equal. Good or bad, like, doesn't make a difference. Because in multiverse, there is no duality. Right here on Earth, in this physical universe, sure, it's a great way to, like, have a deception and make us, like, so addicted to this place. So into rules like, if you do anything wrong, if you do anything negative, you have to pay for your sins and come back and reincarnate and suffer some more because you hadn't had enough. And sure, people might commit crimes, people might rape someone, people might do something bad, what we consider bad, because everyone's way of bad will be different. It's all, the way I see the world will be different from yours. It's all individual opinion, and, what we call bad will be different. For a person whose family is starving, who wants to, like, hey, I'm gonna rob a bank, I'm gonna be the bad person, but my family needs money, and he's gonna take care of the whole, like, million people in this country, so he goes to one, like, country, like, steals the money, he's a bad person in that country, comes back to this country, and he's a hero, and everyone loves him. Who's to say who's the bad guy? Like, it's all, like, from the way we see. Anyway, that thing aside, duality exists only here in physical, like, universe. Out there in the multiverse, when you're far away from Earth, when you're far away from Milky Way and stuff like that, there's something. People have wars all the time. I've been in, like, I've had out-of-body experiences where I recalled my past lives, where I went to different bodies, where I literally was a killer. I blasted, like, thousands of beings over there. But the thing is, the pain doesn't exist out there. If you are in the higher realms, you can have fights. Beings like us, we like competition. This whole life, we're always living to try. We're always living, like, trying to learn something new, trying to get better, trying to be better than others. But it's a thing for our souls. If we stay in one place, if we do not grow, we stay the same, and we eventually, like, degenerating and going down the spiral and becoming less and less and less. So we always need challenge. We always need something to keep pushing us forward, which is why a lot of beings come here to Earth to get better. Like, they're challenging themselves to get through this experience, to learn and blah, blah, blah. But then, with their first intention, like, hey, I want to see if I can go through the challenge and, like, be on Earth and also escape it. Yeah, great goal. And we come in and we spend some time here, and then we die. But during this time we spent here on Earth, we've learned so many things. We forgot our first, like, experiences, we forgot our past, and now all we have is information we gathered here on Earth. And we don't know much. We don't know shit. And we're dumb. We're dumb as rock. We think we know a lot, but we don't. We think we know a lot about space and stuff, but we don't know enough about our oceans and stuff. It's like, it's a deep subject. But anyway, so with our first intention, as we have, like, billions of years of learning and all this stuff, and we have, like, hey, we're gonna come to Earth and we're gonna have this experience, and you come here and you forget everything you've experienced before. This is one of the rules on Earth. You're gonna be mind wiped, you're gonna be, like, memory wiped, you're gonna forget everything, you're gonna be messed up. You're probably gonna incarnate in a family that's not good for you. That happens to a lot of people. So with all the experiences you've had, and as long as you live here on Earth, you learn all kinds of things. And now we have the systems here, like the laws, the religion, and so many things that limit us. And now we're taught of how the things should be. And this whole New Age teachings, we have great information, but then we have insiders from the bad side, what we would call bad side for us, because, like, hey, they're like they're having a war against us, they're trying to beat us, they're the bad guys. Same thing. They're trying to beat us. We're the bad guys for them. Same thing for them. So anyway, we're just trying to get by, but we get in the place, we learn so much, and now, since we have no memory of what we experienced in the past, and we only have this experience, we take that it is the only truth. And we learn from religions, we learn from systems, we learn from all these things that we like here on Earth. But it's limited. We have no knowledge about out there if we don't get out of body, if we don't like start experiencing things, if we don't recall our past lives. We know only what we learn here on Earth, and that's pretty limited. And you can learn from other people here, but you can only learn as much as they know, and that's pretty limited as well. And me, I don't know much. I know so very little compared to like a lot of you people, and like even like me having recalls of my past life, I still have tons of things to learn. And like for me, this is just my point of view, my opinion. But like as we call and like as we get in this place, forget and everything we experienced before and learn only what's here on Earth, and we start hearing the stories about like reincarnation and Earth is cool. Okay, but what if you suffer for thousands of years again and again and again? Earth's cool to only like suffer all the time? Our first intention is to learn, is to grow, is to get better, is to challenge ourselves, sure. But then we get into this trap where we're constantly being messed with. And first time might be a challenge, first time might be great. But if you start coming back here again and again and again, forgetting absolutely everything that you experienced before, forgetting all the good things you've done, like people die, they get into that purgatory, and now you're going to be shown your life. But you're only shown all the bad things you've done. Only bad things. They don't show you the good stuff. A lot of times they don't. And like all the good stuff you've done, all the like you try to be the good person. You talk to people. You gave money. You donated. You did all kinds of things. And I'm gonna mute my stuff because I'm getting messages from people. Sorry about that. But anyway, shit. I'm sorry. But anyway, you're in the purgatory. You're trying to get by, and you're just like, hey, show me my life. But they show you the bad side. It doesn't matter what good stuff you've done. They don't care about that. They're only going to show you the bad stuff because they want you to come back. Because people are the cattle. They feed from us. Your emotions, all the negativity you might have in life, no wonder you're experiencing so many bad stuff. You're trapped here for a reason. And people might come here like, hey, it's a great challenge. I want to get by. I want to see if I can beat the challenge. Sure, first time is fun, but then you forget everything. You don't know why you came here. You forget your reasons for being here in the first place. You don't have all of the memories. And now you're trapped. You don't like this place. You're trying to get by. You're trying to be a decent human being. But the world is constantly like banging on you. You have entities. You have case. The people you like or love are not really understanding you. They're treating you bad. You have society. You have laws. You have rules, religions. And everyone is getting down on you a lot. And you end up being like, this is a trash. I just cannot handle being here anymore. I want out. And a lot of people commit suicide because of that. They cannot handle this place anymore. They don't want to be here. And they commit suicide, and a lot of times because they have no awareness, they reincarnate and keep coming back, suffering again and again and again. What kind of cool is that? Why can't we leave? Why do we have to be like, oh, I have to be a good person and like redo all my sins and do only good things to leave? Really? Suffering for millions of years for what? To leave this hellhole? I don't see the sense of here, and I might be completely wrong. But at the same time, I don't see why we should suffer for thousands and millions of years if we don't want to be here. Okay, we tried, we didn't like it, let's get out. That's how it is in the other multiverses. We go into like all kinds of experiences, and since there is no pain, since it's not as hardcore as here, and we like, some people like hardcore, like, I play video games on hardcore because I want to challenge myself and see if I can beat it. And same here, I get into this life, it's hard, I don't really like it, but I'm trying to get by and like, always trying to learn, trying to get better and stuff, and, it's a challenge. I'm always trying to like, do better in life, but at the same time, so many people are suffering to the point where they cannot handle it anymore. And even, a lot of people are all alone. They are not understood by others. Sure, you might listen to me and we might relate, but then you go out and no one in your surroundings understands you. Your parents don't like you, and it isn't like, hey, that, my son or my daughter is crazy. Like, they just keep talking about all these entities, and they're so brainwashed by the system. They're so into this material world, they don't really think much. All of these things. People don't think on the spiritual aspect. It's all material right now. And we get so trapped into the system, and so like, you have to be a good person, and, good person by whose standards? By whose? Really? Do I have to be a good standard, like play all the good standards by God? By the system? For the law? For the country? Whose standards is good? Whose standards are bad? This whole duality thing is completely only physical universe. You won't see these standards in the multiverse when you get out. Which is why a lot of people like cannot handle it anymore, and they want to off themselves, but They don't want to cause pain because they care about other people. I care about my parents. I care about people I love. And if I would leave, I know how much it would hurt them. Which is like, hey, okay, I'm just gonna stay here longer. I'm gonna try to help them. Which is why a lot of people go into looking for information of how to get out. How can I not be here? And they come to this information about the walk-ins. A walk-in, well, basically, you go to a body. You meet a being who might be more intelligent than you. You have a conversation with them and you talk with them and you get their agreement. Like, hey, sure, I want to take over your body. Seems good enough for me. And you can have any kind of conversations with them. They can be smarter than you. They can be the same level, but they want to get on Earth for their own reasons, and they might have plenty. I don't know what they are. Some people want to get spread their own kind of message. Some people are like, hey, I got here late. I don't want to agree to tons of stuff, so I'm just gonna take over your body and have your case instead of something new and being completely brainwashed. Because when a walk-in comes in, they don't lose their memory. They do not go an official way. So it's like being an illegal alien on Earth, not just in the country but on Earth. When souls incarnate officially, we agree to things on being on Earth. We agree to okay, I'm gonna be this kind of person, I'm gonna be like this, and that's where you create your character, you create your personality, what you're gonna be like. But then, at the same time, once we're agreeing to all this stuff, we get so tired of reading all the rules and what we're agreeing to that oh please, just get done with it. And you get a book and stuff, and you agree to first few pages yeah, cool, and every line is an agreement. You're like, yeah, whatever. But then you're tired of reading all these pages and there might be more, and you're like, sure, okay, I agree to everything, just let me in, I want to play as a human being. And so you get in and you start your game, but you rushed in and you don't know what you've agreed to exactly. So you lose your memory, you don't know what you agreed to, and you start a life where it's pretty fucked up. And you're being messed with. And you're having all kinds of failures. And you have a goal, but you can never reach it. And tons of things are going against you. And you're just driven crazy, but it just drives you crazy and you want to leave. You cannot handle this place. And you start going into spirituality or other things where you start learning about life, learning about yourself, and learning hey, there are walk-ins. They can take over my body and I can leave forever. Awesome, I want to try that. And people are like, hey, let's leave. So all of these rules with you cannot do that, I don't really necessarily agree to it, but it's just my opinion. So once we get out of body, we can meet beings who are smarter than us, who have more intelligence, who can talk to them. And if we find the right one, we're like, hey, this person will be good. This person agrees to this being agrees to take care of my family, be good for people that I love, and whatever else he's gonna do, I don't care. However else she's gonna act with my family or other stuff, you don't care. As long as you have certain agreement with that being, they're gonna hold on to their word, because it's pretty much a common thing. You go into the multiverse, you don't meet liars over there. When you meet beings like us, you, me, and others, if it's not an entity, they're not really gonna lie to you. So you pretty much scan them and see what kind of being they are, if they're good, and good beings will take care of your family. They will do things for you in a certain way. So you can find pretty much someone who's gonna live your life in a way that you want to. As in, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones, do this and that. Something specific that you're attached to, what keeps you here. And if you can have someone else do that for you, while they have all the rest of the time to do their own thing, why they want to be here on Earth, is great. So the walk-in, when they come here, they don't have to get on Earth the official way. They don't have to agree to all the rules. They don't have to make all the agreements again. They don't have to get the birth or something else. They're going on illegal way, which is why it's not allowed. Because they want on agreements. Because they want us to be limited. And if a soul comes here in not legal way, which is in walk-in. Walk-in is about this already here, that already has agreements, that already has a case that is not as limited. Because every year, when stuff happens in life, we get more and more laws that makes our country just harder to live in. As in okay, F was nice. America was great. 9/11 happens, shit happens. Rules changes, laws changes, and stuff gets harder. Now we have terrorists all over the place. We have surveillance cameras. We have phones and everything else. We're always being followed, and all of these crazy things that you can hear about, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Sure. What the hell? What's your problem? So all of these things happen, and life gets harder. Same thing when you incarnate. As Earth, gets like this. when people like us are like, I don't want to be here. This country sucks. I'm going to be a rebel. We're going to become revolutionaries. We're going to create a change on Earth. We're planting trees right now. Like, like join Mr. Beast and like donate some money to like plant trees on Earth. Yeah, let's do that. So as we grow and as we want to make changes, those who make rules for this place, for what it should be like, are like, hey, beings are waking up too fast. Beings are making changes. Let's make the rules harsher so that they could not beat us in their own game. So what they do is they keep making more and more rules. So now your agreements stop being like that. It just keeps expanding. And new people who come in on Earth are having our Down syndrome, are having all kinds of autism. And I'm not saying this is just like because of a spiritual thing and because of agreements only, but it has an effect. It totally plays a part. And like, hey, vaccines, food, other stuff, like chemicals in food and like electromagnetic radiation, like all kinds of things play a huge part in this. But also, let's pay attention that like as we make changes on Earth, as we make a huge impact here, they don't like us winning. They don't like us taking like the lead and finally like, fighting for ourselves. They don't want that. They want people to be limited. So they're gonna create more and more rules, and new beings that come here on Earth, their life is worse than ours. They don't have like kids are like hyperactive. They had ADD and HDD. Like all of a sudden, like tons of things happen, and we feel like, what's wrong with our kids? Well, look, we've made a change on Earth. We're winning. They don't like that, so they're gonna fuck up our kids, make more agreements, and when beings are born officially, they come in like, hey, I want to be out here on Earth. I want to join. Like, our available players list keeps expanding every day as we have more and more population growing. So with more availability to be here on Earth, as beings comes over, they have more things to agree to, and their life gets messed more and more and more. And all of these diseases, all of these things that happens to them, and now they're becoming hypersensitive because as souls they're advanced, but they're born in a bad body. They haven't been taken care of. They've been birth pumped, and they can get in a place where it's like really messed over. No one cares about them. No one understands them. And these beings, new beings that are born officially, with all the agreements and stuff, they're being messed with so much that they just can't handle it. And so many beings want to end off their life, and it's a thing. So having that in mind, having someone who comes here illegally, as in like, hey, I'm gonna sneak, I'm not gonna play by the system, I'm gonna find someone who gives me their body, I'm gonna come over, take over, not agree to anything, not agree to new laws, not be fucked up as I was. I will have my memory, I will have all the knowledge that I've had from my past lives. I just come over, take over the body, and I go, and I blend in, and I do my stuff. Awesome, let's do that. So we have this new age system, and people who are like limiting us, saying that like, hey, it's not possible, you should not do that because like it's impossible. I don't think so. I think it's a lie to limit us. I think it's a lie to make other people incarnate officially so that they would be messed over more and more and more, so that we would have beings who like start this life being really, really messed up. And if we can end up the cycle, if we learn how to get out of body, if we learn how to meet beings that are good for us and they take over our body and we live forever, we had enough of this gameplay, we had enough of this life, we don't want to be here anymore. So what's the point? We can end off like, hey, done. But we are so good that we're like, okay, we're gonna play with the family, we're gonna make sure that we please everyone. And if we keep doing that, like we're just fucking ourselves more and more and more. If we don't fix ourselves and stuff. So people get tired and they find walk-ins. And if you're able to find a walk-in who's gonna take over your body, who's gonna live your life, but at the same time do the things you want him to do or her, and then they come over. And things that keep you attached here, your family, your loved ones, yours, like something else, like your dog. You want to be out of here, but you have a dog that loves you, and you don't want to leave him alone. You're gonna be here. You're gonna wait until your dog passes away. You don't want to make like cause like euthanasia or stuff like that. So we're trying to stay here. But if we find a being that can come over and take our bodies and like be here for us and do their own thing, awesome. Let them do that. And leave this place and never come back. You've had enough of this shithole. You've had enough of this, all of these games and all of these like things that are not right for you. So you're out. You're done. And I think that's the way to go. So I might not be completely right, but this is just my rant. Like people want me to hear talk about walk-ins. I think there's something to know. Like, I might be completely wrong, but it's just my own opinion, and you don't really have to follow that. But you can like hey, maybe there is something to it. Maybe she has something to say. So I don't know. Share your opinion though. Like a lot of people I know have tried to get walk-ins. I haven't heard back from them. yet, but hey, maybe like another soul got in, they take over the body. Like, why keep a connection like of a stranger? Let's do my own thing, and like they might be doing great. So personally, here I don't know any walk-ins that I haven't like met here. Like person who I've talked to that got a walk-in and talked to me. Like I haven't had that, but I've met people who already got as a walk-in. Like I haven't met the original soul, but the walk-in that came over and took out the body. I met those. I've talked to those. I haven't asked their goals yet. That hasn't actually come up to my mind, but I think it's a good thing to do. If you're tired of this place, if you want to get out, learn how to get out of body. Not the astral projection. Astral projection is great, but you go only to the astral realm, only to a specific realm. When you go out of body, you can go to astral or tons of other possible realms. So if you learn how to get out of body, of course, astral projection is great, and you can totally find beings who get out of body and get into astral. You can learn that, and if it works for you, awesome. And same thing, like you can like learn both, or lucid dreaming, whatever. But start from your dreams. Everyone is dreaming. You might not remember your dreams, and that's a thing. So work on your memory, work on yourself, learn how to get out of body, learn how to astral project, and when you have enough information, when you have the ability to get out, if you meet the being, and you can literally, how do I meet them, how do I find them and stuff? Simple. Have a thought, invite them. Like, hey, when I go out of body, I'm inviting any walk-ins that want to take over my body, and when I get out, please wait there where I will be, and they will track you. They know your soul. They are targeting you specifically. They hear you. If you're inviting them, like when people are praying and they're asking for something, it's heard by the multiverse, it's heard by whoever you're praying to. So you have the intention of who you're contacting. As in, like, hey, I'm right here, and the person I like might be miles and miles away from me, might be in Denmark, might be in some other country. I don't know. And, like, you're just like, hey, just be safe, please be safe, please be safe. And you have something that you want to tell them, and you have a feeling, like, towards them. And so as you get it strongly, the person will feel it. Our brains are like transmitters. It's like a radio. If you feel something, if you have a feeling, and if you express it, it doesn't necessarily have to be out loud, it can be inwards. But if you have a feeling and intention and you put it outwards, you shoot out your signal, and someone who has an opening, and you're directing it to it, like boom, comes over, and they get like, oh yeah, and they get a feeling. They don't necessarily know that you're talking to them, but they will have a feeling like, oh, I should be more careful. I should be acting in a way that's gonna make me feel safe, and like all this stuff. And whatever your intention was towards them, like for them to be safe, for them to take a specific road, for them to not go that specific way, it will reach them. They might not hear your voice, they might not understand what's going on, but they will have a thought like, oh, I should turn that way. And you might have heard like about an accident, and you're like trying to make sure that they're safe. So you call them, and you don't get through. Now you're like, please just go right, go right, go right. And the person that's there driving like, yeah, okay, I'll just turn right. Why not? First time I already thought of that thing, but they picked up on you, and souls can do that. And we're like able. So just like we can contact beings here on Earth, just like we can like have this radio transmission with our brain and like our bodies and stuff, same thing happens to the multiverse. If you, in a physical body right now, like, hey, I'm looking for a walk-in who's gonna take over my body, who's gonna take care of all my loved ones, who's gonna make sure blah, 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 take care of my dog, love this, love that, do that, and that. Whoever wants to play this game and take over my body and will, like, do all I've said to do regarding, like, what I care about, you can take over my body. Please meet me when I get out of body. And they will. They know where you are. They're gonna locate you. And you get out of body, and you hear this. You see several beings towards you, like, oh, it took you a while. They've been waiting for you. They know where you are. So then you can have conversation with them. It's easy. Just like when you're meditating, when you're praying, when you're talking to yourself, you are always reaching out to someone. And if you're praying for something, and if you're asking for something in life, you will get it. Which is why, you receive what you ask for. And if you put an intention of a walk-in to have a specific list of what you should do in life, specific qualification list, make sure that you take care of people that I love, take care of my dog, take care of my cat, whatever you have in life that attaches you here and keeps you from getting out or suiciding, you make sure that, like, okay, they qualify, and that is what they're going to do. They're going to take care of people you love, blah, 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 and the rest, they can do whatever they want. So, you get out of body, you meet someone who qualifies as that, and as souls, we are strong enough and powerful enough to where we can pick it up. We can pick up their intentions before we even talk to them. Like, you look at the being and you're like, Not that one. Not that one. Yeah. Like I kind of, you get into the house and you feel the aura of the house. You feel the energy. You get into the place and you're like, it's cold. It's like icky. Like, no, I don't want to be here. You know those places. You've been there. You've had times when someone's gonna call you. They haven't called yet, but they're already dialing you. And you think about that person. You pick up because they thought about you. You pick up their signal. You think about it. You pick up their phone. You're gonna like call them, and that's when they call you. And you're like, oh look, huh. Yeah, cool. Like it happens to my mom. Like my mom's gonna call me, and I'm like, pick up the phone, and I'm gonna call my mom, and there she is. She's calling me, like, cool. Like it happens. Same thing as when you're asking like, oh, what time it is? I think it's like 11:11. You look at the clock, 11:11. You pick it up. So same thing as like when you're out and you're being in certain places, you will feel the energy. You can pick it up. And same thing, when you get out of body and you see certain beings, you have that ability to pick up their energy, to pick up their intentions, to pick up what kind of being they are. And if you think that being fits your standards, fits your way of living, and you're like, okay, this one can take over my body. And you talk to them, you have a deal with them, you have a conversation, and say whatever you want. Like it's just like you talking to another being. They're not special, they're not anything else. You are equal, just like them. And they're both equal. Like, hey, I'm done with this. You want to take over my body? Yeah, sure. It's done. And what you have to do is like, you have a deal, they're gonna come over and get into your body, just like getting out of body, like, okay, your body's laying here, you get out of body, you see your physical body, and you get away, and you leave it for a while, for a day, 2, 3, doesn't matter, but eventually you come back to your body. So once you leave, and you meet a walk-in, and you have a deal, like, yeah, you can have my body. So the consciousness gets into your body, now it takes over, and wakes up, and starts like having an experience that you've had, except with their own consciousness, with their own thoughts, with their own personality, and you are out. The body's done, you're out, and if you're like, hey, I think it was a bad idea, I want to get back. Can you please just leave my body and stuff? You can talk to them, you can leave the body, and okay, yeah, sure, I'll wait for someone else. Beings out there, they're good. Not everyone, but like whoever you talk to and whoever you think will be best for you, you can pick it up. They can take over your body and like you're free. You can get out, and so you have someone to take care of your like loved ones, to take care of the things that you care about, and you get out and you have your freedom, and you go wherever you want. You do whatever you want. So it's a big topic. Like there's a lot to talk about, but these are just a few of my thoughts, and hopefully it's going to be helpful or valuable or something. But hey, people want me to talk about stuff, I see their comments and talk about it. So who was it, like Jessica or someone? Yeah, Janissa or Alina Bride, yeah, she was the one asking about the topic. So yeah, hopefully this is what you wanted for it or whatever. But yeah, I should wrap it up. Sorry. So thank you for watching. I'm really looking forward to you sharing your thoughts about the walk-ins. If you would like to do it, if you would like to learn it and stuff. If you want me to expand on certain key points, hey, you talked about this specific place. Can you talk more about it? Like whatever you have, any questions, any thoughts, any of your experiences. You might be a walk-in, I don't know. So write to me, share your experiences, share your thoughts, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And again, I really appreciate you watching my channel and my videos, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.